Oh, Wyll, you seem like such a freaking sweetheart, and I love a man on a revenge quest, but holy shit, why do you have to play so hard to get? I mean, really, I have done more for you than I've done for any other companion in my party, and still you hurt me with these harsh words.
Well, an intriguing offer, truly, but I just don't feel that kind of connection. But consider me flattered. A boon for my ego. Now go off. Have your fun. I've got a tankard keeping me company.
Dang it, Wyll, I'm better than a darn tankard. As far as I have found from my hours of hunting, there's one person on YouTube with a video of Wyll's romance, which I've refused to watch except for the very beginning of the dialogue. Once I saw the line about sharing bonds, I thought, nope, I have to see it for myself. I'll put the link below, though, for anybody who's interested. I found someone on that same YouTube video that said they managed to trigger it as a Drow, and the poster of the YouTube video was a Drow cleric. I thought to myself, why not try this on my Drow? Maybe Wyll has a thing for Drow girls. But after doing his entire quest and seeing every scene I could get my hands on, still friend-zoned. I went hunting for more information and found something about a note you can find near Waukeen's Rest, but I couldn't find anything. The most I got was some dialogue from Wyll about how he couldn't help anyone at the town and talking about his days as a flaming fist. I thought maybe that was enough, but no, didn't do anything. The same Reddit post mentioned going to Ethel's and talking to her about Wyll, but there was never an option. She never says a thing. I don't know what I'm missing here, but after hours upon hours of replaying the game just to get with Wyll, I have to say I'm giving up until they fix his romance. I really wanted to figure this out, and I tried so hard, but I just can't get it to trigger. I'm sort of making this video as a plea, too. If you have figured this out, please, please, for the love of God, tell me how to do it. Tell me everything about what you chose and what you did with him so I can recreate it. It's driving me absolutely crazy. I just want to see his romance. I need to see it. So what have I done so far, you might wonder? I've followed his whole personal quest. I've knocked out the Goblin Fezzerk at the Windmill in the Blighted Village and saw his dialogue in camp afterwards. Then we went to Spike, and there we did exactly as Wyll wanted, and I was able to see another dialogue in camp about Mizora. But then he sends you to the Drow, and the Drow Minthara is a complete dead end. She doesn't mention Wyll at all, and there's no option to talk about Mizora. The only thing he says is to kill her as one of the Goblin leaders, and that's it for his quest. There are other scenes you can get still in camp, like the one where he talks about your performance at the Druid's Grove, killing the goblins, and even the scene where you get drunk with him on Dragon's Breath brandy. None of it seems to matter. There are other things you can find throughout the game too, like her ejection pod, for instance.
Sulfur. This could be Mizora's pod.
And you can also find a spot in the Shattered Sanctum where they mention it smells like sulfur, an obvious indication of Mizora, as even Spike mentions how she smells funny when you burn her. I saw so much dialogue this time through, but apparently it wasn't enough to actually get him interested. I literally recorded every scene I came across in the hopes that something would line up with triggering a romance, and just nothing. There comes a time when you just have to call a spade and give up. At least for now. Or unless someone gives me a tip that actually works, because so far nothing has. Does anyone know about this supposed note near Waukeen's Rest? I swear I've canvassed the whole area and I haven't found anything. Was anyone ever able to get onto Ethel to mention Wyll? It's a real shame, but I don't think it's going to happen for me until they make some fixes for the romance. I hope they're coming soon because it's legit become an obsession, and I'm really annoyed that I couldn't find a way to make it work. Since I have this huge collection of Wyll scenes, I figured I might as well do something with them, so I'll leave them here at the end with a whole list of links in the info for those who want to skip around and peruse them. If you happen to see any scenes that I'm missing, by all means let me know, or even if you have any information about this romance, or want to share your frustrations with being unable to activate it, I'd love to hear it. Enjoy the scenes, and thanks for watching. See ya!
I've crossed blades with the gloomstorms of Gracklstugh, and they've earned every last wound. You're not so scary. I bet you're hiding a smile under those scowls. Ah, there it is. Nice. She saved us the work of killing that goblin ourselves. Well, this makes one down. Only a few thousand more to go.
Pot of boiling oil. But worry not. I fixed him up, and depending on the lighting, he looks good as new. My point is, whatever ails you, I promise I've seen worse.
Tell her, but if she pulls out a pot of oil, run.
What is it, Petal? What's wrong?
Honesty might not be the best policy here. People spook easily. We would have at least saved some trouble, and I dare say Nettie's life. Let's keep our condition on a need-to-know basis. As in, nobody needs to know. Nobody but Halcyon, at least. So, let's get to finding him. The Devil with the Silver Tongue. An old fairy tale my father read to me. The kind with a hero, a villain, and a moral. A farmer made a deal with the devil, so the story goes. In exchange for the farmer's dearest fruit, the devil granted him a bottomless coin purse. The farmer's dearest fruit, naturally, was no apple nor peach, but his beloved daughter. We can learn a lot from fairy tales, don't you think? That's because you still have hope, but when he becomes your last hope, remember this. He'll require of you what you're least ready to part with. And then require more still. You might think you'd give up anything for a cure, but the devil won't take just anything. He'll take everything. I was watching you at the Grove Gate. You spilled enough goblin blood to fill the Chiontha. Where'd you learn moves like that? Or a knack for seeing in the dark, for that matter. Handy for all those Ks will definitely, absolutely be roaming. The Blade's not often keen on sharing his glory. But if he has to, better it be with a champ like you. Then let the forests part and the rivers still. Legends approach. Now, let's get some rest. I do my best goblin killing at sunup. I'll be damned to the last hell. We can connect with others. Try to mold their minds. Handy power, if you ask me. Maybe the brain bugs aren't all bad. Don't go putting the cart before the Rothe. Bending brains is a tool for survival, not the key to a kingdom. Let's just dabble here and there when we need to. See what happens.
Hey! Up here! Let me down! Keep chirping, birdie! It's music to my... Well, I'll be me old friend, Captain Failure.
You! Sing for me, Roach. Tell me everything you know!
I know you ain't seeing much out of that eye pebble of yours. And there's an army of us, and just a couple of you. So you ain't the one gonna be asking questions.
Your parasite burns in concert with Wyll's. Paralyzing rage and a hunger for answers.
Stand with me, mate. Carve him up, but keep him breathing. I've got some questions to ask, and I'll burn the answers from his shite-stained throat.
Look at that! The captain grew some bollocks! Oh! I give up! Mercy, please! I know things. If you let me live, I'll make it worth your while. I promise!
Let me do the talking. Spike, the bruiser. Where is he?
The camp! Eastways! Spike's probably getting his jollies in the torture cell.
Perfect. That's what I needed. Kill it.
No!
Take one. Dragon's breath brandy. Puts hair on your bones. Sorry about all that. Back at the windmill, I mean. I lost my head. You ever felt so much hate it poisoned your blood? Then you've known the sickness that spreads through me. I crossed paths with Spike a few years back. He had torched the whole village, left it to burn. I wasn't a blade then, just a kid, really. Should have known better than to run hollering after a goblin bruiser on a rage high. You better take another sip of that brandy. Down the hatch. Spike went right for the eye. Last thing I saw was the dagger coming at me, woke in a puddle of piss and blood. I reckon he thought I was dead. I wasn't dead. From anger and sorrow, I was reborn. I was the blade of frontiers. I will see Spike dead. I will see the land cleansed, and I will keep its people safe. You hear that, Spike? The blade's coming for you. And he won't be alone. I'm coming as fast as I... Drow? What do they... Hello? Hello, hello. Oh, that. Just preparing my war cry. I'm coming as fast as I can. Needs a bit of work, I reckon. Look, come on. It's time we paid Spike a visit.
Poor lad. I'm only gonna make it hurt more. Where do they flee to, you stubborn rat?
Please, stop!
Spike? Enough!
Look what the Absolute dragged in. It's my pussycat, the Blade of Frontiers. You come for a rematch? Can't wait to add the remaining eye to my collection.
I'm not here for you. I'm here for the woman. I know you took her. Where is she? Where is Mizora?
A shiver runs across your mind. You feel sated. Your mind is one with Wyll's. A blood-red creature consumes your vision. Wyll flushes with emotion. Desire, grief, guilt, and desperation. You focus on the source of the power, but it is quiet and still. It needs to rest.
That Mizora lass, a friend of yours, Blade? Smells funny when you burn her. Screams real good, too. Tell you what, pussycat. Make this rat squeal, and I'll take you right to her.
You want me to torture him? Forget it!
Then forget your precious lady, mate, and slink out of here! You're one of that bad, eh? Well, you better get sniffing, pussycat, 'cause she's long gone. But I'll tell you who took her. Ain't like you'll catch up. Gone with the Drow. They got big plans for her.
The gods be damned, I will rip you to shreds! I found Spike. And for nothing. Mizora, where are you? Answer me, damn it!
Your minds connect, and you see the same devilish face you'd seen when you first met Wyll.
Look, you want answers, but it's not the time or the place.
We'll talk in camp when I'm ready. And I'll tell you what you want to know. I know you've got questions, but let me ask you one first. You ever want something so bad, you'd stop at nothing to get it? Then I reckon you'll understand. I told you how Spike torched the village and yanked out my eye. I vowed to the hells and the heavens that I'd make him pay. But that wasn't the whole story. A woman rose from the town's ashes. My soul shivered as soon as her lips touched my ears. She promised I'd have my revenge. Mizora would forge me into a hero. I'd have the power to slay my every enemy, save their every victim. All in exchange for my endless devotion. She only revealed her true form after I'd said yes. A Cambion. Half human, half devil. She gave me a new eye, a sending stone to connect us, for calling on me whenever she so wished. Raphael, Mizora, the devil's game has but one end. My soul is now hers, in this life and beyond. And so I was, at first anyway, until I put her new powers to use. I called forth the flames and fury of the 9 hells themselves. I could conjure fire and command beasts. The more I craved, the more she promised. Balls of fire, festering clouds. I went from spoiled brat to savior. My way of avenging every blameless life taken. Slay enough monsters, save enough villages, and there could be peace. I reckon you know the answer. There is no path to peace through the hells, though I searched long for it. I told Mizora I wanted out. We were still arguing when the squiddy snatched us both. After the crash, goblins plucked her from her pod and... well, I reckon you know the rest. I don't know what the Drow want with Mizora, but she promised to break our bond if I save her. I free her, and she frees me. The bargain is void if she's killed, near as I can tell. A nigh impossible task, even for the blade. If the Drow slayed her, they'd do me a great favor. Or so I think on the darkest days. But she still lives. They want something from her. Gods know what. Mizora demanded a price I was unwilling to pay. One I won't speak of. Not now, and not here. Thank you. Your loyalty means more than the whole of the realm's riches. Onward, then, and may we be free from the devils that might bind us.
You recall Raphael's infernal smirk, his goading voice.
And the devils that already do. Those gobos are talking about me. Let's check it out.
Those fist fellas at the inn raid ain't had a chance. I chopped them up and tossed them on the flames.
Well, ain't you cock of the walk? Go get the blade of frontiers, unless you want my piss in your ale.
The blade? Spike's seen him fight, says he's a pussycat. If he'd crossed me, I'd crack open his skull and scoop out the brains.
That's all you got? I spot the whelp, and I'm strapping him to the spit and watching him roast.
A good-natured round of how to murder the blade? Come on. Let's play. Boys, this is child's play. You want the blade to suffer? Slice his feet off and make him eat them. Raw.
Oh, you're real nasty. You, how would you kill the blade, your Drowness? Lop off his head? Boil him up for the wargs to gobble?
Oh yes? We're all ears, your Drowness. You're just a treasure, aren't you?
Your Drowness is nasty.
You want nasty? Watch close and I'll show you nasty. Get ready, Chief. It's time to unleash the blade. Hey, Gobbo. Check my eye.
Your eye? What about you? Oh, shite!
The blade comes from noble stock, Chief. Born in Baldur's Gate, bred in the upper city. And a steadfast dagger in my father's side. A different time, a different will. Oh, you got me all wrong. Hell, the man was my hero. He saw whatever shiny bauble he wanted and took it. And my fingers were every bit as sticky. Then I went thieving in the wrong shadows. Got myself into trouble. Father shipped me off to the Flaming Fist. Figured they'd teach me a few lessons. I've learned a few, all right. Just not the ones he expected. All three leaders dead. A magnificent showing. The bards will carry your praises across Faerun, hell, across all of Toril. And I'll be leading the songs. Another triumph. Could any have doubted? The frontiers are no longer mine to tame alone, friend. They bend for us both. Hail and hail again. A tavern set alight, a Grand Duke trapped inside, and we did nothing. The Gauntlet always did think me a failure. Seems I've proven her right. You might say that. I told you about my father. Got me assigned to a fist outfit. Wasn't much of a fighter back then. Just a thorn in their backsides. It wasn't a good fit. Gauntlet Yaeva knew a different Wyll. One who could barely tell a sword from a swallow. I can hardly hope for her forgiveness. Now I've left Waukeen's rest to burn. Nor can I claim to deserve it.
This pod came from the Nautiloid. Might be a survivor inside.
A foul scent fills your nostrils.
Sulfur. This could be Mizora's pod.
The pod's been smashed open. No one is inside.
Empty. That's gotta be the one. Unless there are others like us out there.